Alrighty, and we are live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sirius on Stream with the Snap Sirius Nadja Anime podcast featuring myself and Nadja Bloom. The one and only Nadja Bloom is here with me once again today. Good to see you again, Nadja. How are you today?
I'm doing good today. Nice to see you guys. I missed you guys since we didn't do the podcast last week, so it feels really good to be back, especially since this week we're talking about Death Note, and Death
Mom,
Note
is
is
your
one of
portfolio
my
optimized
absolute
for my...
all-time favorites anime.
Mm-hmm. And I can see why too. This series has been a fantastic one so far. Because I never watched it when it came out there, so I'm making up for lost time by trying to watch it, and oh my lord, it has been quite a ride so far. Like, I never would have imagined half the stuff that was going on in this series right now.
I know, like, from Death Note, from what I remember, it was really it was a while since I last watched Death Note, and I didn't remember it having this fast of a pacing.
Mm-hmm.
Like these 6 episodes, they have really flown by, and it's like, whoa, so many things are happening all at once.
I know, right? It's like you jump into it, and the next thing you know, you're already in the you're already in the thick of it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hang on a
Yeah,
second.
yeah, yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. Can you hear her now? By the way, guys, is she all right?
Is it all right? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, got you cranked up to max on my end over here. Can you hear her now, everybody? Is she okay? She got a low volume. Let's see. How about now? Okay, I think we got it. We're good. Also, good morning, everybody. Good morning to Russia Liz. Good morning, Bad Girl Bray. Good morning, TV Killer. Hello, Ecravane. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see. Audio check. Christmas tree. Let's see. Let's see. I am not a Christmas tree. Okay, maybe I am. Totally a Christmas tree. Let's see. How you doing? Not good. Sorry to hear that, Bray. Yeah. Can you hear us now? Are we okay? I haven't heard her yet. Stress librarian. Gotcha. Let's see. But let's see. We'll keep going and see how it goes from there. So let's see here. But like you were saying though, once you get into the series though, it really takes off. Like it just
It really does.
because you have the opening bits to it, and then the next thing you know, you're thrown right into the thick of the adventure right away. It's absolutely insane.
Like, I love how the first episode is just like Light going from picking up the Death Note and being like, this must be some kind of scam, right? Ain't no way it's real. And then he
Yeah,
tested it out and just goes from going batshit crazy to being like, I'm gonna be the god of this new world.
exactly, and it's just and that's the point they're trying to get across, I think, with this entire series because it starts off innocuously enough where you see Late Yagami, let's see, a high school student. He's at the top of his class. Let's see, making excellent progress with his grades there. And all in all, though, you think nothing can go wrong with this guy's life. He's doing well, doing his thing. And the next thing you know, he finds the thing in the school courtyard there and figures, not going to go for it. And then walks right back there, picks it up, takes it back home with him, and then starts looking at the whole thing and reading the instructions too, all those specific instructions about write the person's name in there and they will die in a specific manner unless it's described otherwise they'll die of a heart attack. And that's pretty crazy to think about. So I can see why anyone would be skeptical of that sort of ability because it's like no way that's not going to happen. Not going to do anything like that.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people would be hesitant though. They're kind of like, it's also thinking about like, but I kill people. And then he kind of do a 180 and being like, but I kill people for justice because I'm only killing criminals. And then you don't deserve to live anyways. So I'm doing this rotten world a justification of my actions.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and that's one of the major points to get across in this one, or go over anyway. And real quick, let's see. Can you hear now? By the way, guys, just wanted to double check. Let me know in chat if you can, and if not, I'll try and adjust it further. But yeah, that's the major thing about it because when you have that kind of ability behind your hands, you figure you can use it for good or evil purposes or whatever, and you want to try and use it to help help fix the world, though. But it begs the question: how much are you actually helping? Like, how much good are you actually going to be doing? Because while you think you're going to be helping people out by killing criminals, it's just going to make things even worse in the long haul. You're going to draw more attention onto yourself. It also raises the question: what kind of person are you in the long haul?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And Light is also one of those people that you have great things set out for him. He's top one in Japan when it comes to his classes. He's
Mm-hmm.
deep for great things. So he also has some kind of ego, also being a good looking guy. So he knows he can get anyone that he wants, really.
Mm-hmm.
And it just adds up to this. And like him also being involved in the police and being very smart to begin with. Like he have this ego of justice, but also being kind of cocky about it, being like he thinks he's that smart, so no one will be able to catch him to begin with, because the
Mm-hmm.
death note is that as long as you have a face and a name, that person will die.
Exactly, and he soon discovers that when he realizes that it actually works. He sees that news broadcast of the person dying, or person taking those kids hostage in that one building or whatever, and he says, "I'll give it a try, see what happens there." Writes down the name, sees the face there, and then suddenly, holy shit, this thing fucking works. And then he starts using it on any criminals he finds publicized with news reports, whatever have you, and that whole thing there. Hello, Blue Sun Umbreon. How you doing today? Good to see you. Welcome to the podcast. Hope you're doing well today. And I think that's where Light made his first mistake overall, is that when you get that much power, you start, let's see, and you have that sort of ego behind it, like you mentioned, you start, let's see, you start thinking that you're untouchable. And he went way too quickly with too many people. And also
He did, yeah.
that arrogance of youth ultimately, like, what is going to probably do him in, I think. Because it's just too much too soon. And if you get that many people killed too quickly, it's going to draw a lot of attention to yourself.
For sure, and it's also like the whole thing of him feeling like he's cleaning up the world from criminals, so he doesn't see a problem with killing that many people, even if it is a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and the police themselves being like, but who are killing all of these people? It's still terrible. You're still just a
Mm-hmm.
murderer, even if you claim you're doing someone a good thing.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it is still murder in the long haul, and with that much power behind you and claiming yourself to be a god of a new world, like how arrogant do you have to be in order to do something like that? Because if you're gonna go around proclaiming yourself to be a new god, you may as well be a criminal yourself. That's how some of the worst murderers in history did that sort of thing. Like all the dictators, the kings, the pharaohs to a degree, the ones who went on like murderous wars of conquest.
Yeah, for sure. And it just like it just doesn't help that he just comes from a family in high status, and he himself
Mm-hmm.
have
Mm-hmm.
always probably gotten everything that he has wanted because he's been a good kid.
Exactly. Yes.
Just the whole thing of just like big power comes big responsibility, and he doesn't know how to take responsibility of his actions
Mm-hmm.
because he sees himself as better than other people.
Exactly. And therein lies the other slippery slope you're going to go down. If you're going to go around killing criminals, what's going to stop you from going against anybody who might even dare question you, or even start to have doubts or something like that? You could go against innocent people or things that have nothing to do with being criminals, for that matter.
Yeah, exactly. And that just leads to a whole downward spiral of this entire series, because it
Mm-hmm.
just starts off of people giving Light the nickname Kira for the English word of killer,
Mm-hmm.
and this website just pops up, and everyone, like some people at least, are like, yeah, I just kill all the criminals, and Light just sees that as he's like, see, I'm just doing everyone a service here. Like, if you have a
Exactly.
good conscience, you will not be afraid of me. And it's like, bro,
It's like how dangerously deluded do you have to be to believe that? Because even people with good consciences can still make mistakes or whatever. And if you're gonna say if you have a good conscience, you're safe. If you're gonna go around killing millions of people, do you have a good conscience? Are you gonna start making the right decisions for people? And should someone with that much power even have the right to decide?
Right, and I still love that the first thing Ryuk, the Shinigami of Death, that dropped the notebook in the
Yes.
human realm to begin with.
Yep.
That the first thing he asked him, but wait, aren't you gonna be the most fucked up person left?
Exactly. That's a good point that he mentioned too. He says he does tell him that, and it's like and he just goes around there. Don't worry. I'm gonna be just fine or something like that. But it's just not gonna be that way. It's not gonna happen. It never turns out that well. And Ryuka's right in the end, though. He's just going to be the same fucked up person he always is right now. It also makes you wonder, too, like, underneath the surface, underneath his exterior of being the good student, the ideal date, the good-looking guy, the guy set to make a good path in life, just how fucked up was he in the head to begin with? And as we're discovering, even from the start, he wasn't all there to begin with.
I feel like he is probably pretty fucked up to begin with. He just had a facade of being the perfect guy.
Exactly.
But it just, like, he probably never would have acted on it if he hadn't gotten the death note, I think, just because his father is the police chief.
Right. And that, I think, was one of the biggest twists, I think, when it came to the series so far, because you see because for the first 2 episodes, you don't see much of the family life apart from, him doing his cram school, getting ready for exams, and just, trying to make sure he's staying ahead in school, helping his sister and family out there. Don't see too much of his father right away, at least until, I think it's not until episode 3 that we learn that his father's part of the case and works for the police force. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
There's no way. How's this going to work out?
Yeah, I love that plot twist. When I watched it for the first time, I was like, wait, ain't no way he's actually the police chief.
Exactly.
He's challenging his own dad. Is he insane?
Exactly. Which makes you wonder in the end, though, if his father gets too close, is he going to also do his own father in? Is he going to start going after family and friends? Like, how's it going to turn out? Let's see. And yes, oh, sorry, go ahead.
As we have seen this far, like, yes, already started crumbling with his ideals of only killing criminals, right? So, like, it raises the question, how far are you gonna go? Because you have already shown that you're able, or you will kill people that will go against you. Will you kill your own dad?
Precisely. And furthermore, if anybody knows about what's going on there, are you going to kill them too? As we'll soon discover, that's what's going to happen. Because let's see, and yeah, that's true. TV killer. It's like what happened with Jason Solo in the old Star Wars books, when he goes from being a Jedi Knight to becoming Darth Caedus and becomes a mass murderer and Sith Lord across the galaxy, where he winds up being defeated by his own sister, Jaina Solo. So I totally agree with you there, TV killer. And but that's the other thing too, as well. And Ryuk also mentions in the 3rd episode too that there are other consequences and deals to consider when it comes to going after other people, because Light makes a whole bunch of mistakes, like I mentioned before, with getting so many people off the bat, that he starts getting followed. The police start catching on to him. And that's when I think one of the more brilliantly written characters so far, L, makes his appearance in the 2nd episode, where he let's see, he only appears on screen. He's only visible by a distorted voice, and he has this huge gambit to publicly reveal himself, but it's actually a body double, and then is instantly killed, and then reveals on television right there that as long as he can't see his face or his name, he can't do anything about it.
That whole thing was him setting up his double and being like, yeah, but try and kill me. And then he does. And it's just like, I see, I gotcha. And it was like,
yep.
Oh,
that was
fucked up.
Yep, you done fucked up, son. And the next thing you know, And just seeing the whole that's the whole start of this whole cat and mouse between the two of them, and I love it so far because it's now the two of them just trying to outwit each other. Where Light's not revealing his name, L can't reveal his name, and they're just trying to track each other down all across Japan. And L is just revealing how he deduces his identity with the killings occurring in Japan, particularly in the in other parts of the country, but he also deduces that it's in the Kanto region of Japan, which is right where Light Yagami lives. And so Light's paranoia begins kicking in. Ryuk starts admonishing him for it. It's like, how are you going to get out of this one now? And then that's how Light sets that ingenious measure to destroy the Death Note if it ever gets caught. Like where he has that whole elaborate contraption with the false drawer in the desk, the flame-throwing mechanism to destroy it and start a small fire in the room if he manages to get caught or if they find the Death Note to begin with. It reveals how crazy prepared the man can be, but at the same time, though, he's still making a whole lot of common sense mistakes, and that I think ties into the whole thing of genius versus common sense. Like you can be book smart, but if you aren't wise to what's going on around you, you're going to wind up making some serious mistakes that not even books can fix.
Yeah, exactly.
And hang on a second here. Bad Girl Bree, thank you for the Bean Boozled being redeemed. This should be interesting. Let's see. We got an episode of Hot Ones going on over here at the moment. Got a jalapeno? Let's do it. There we go. Let's see, but anyway, on what we were saying before, though, it's like with a book smart versus street smarts. Like if you aren't able to what's it called get your mistakes figured out, you're going to be in a world of trouble. Or if you can't figure out to plan ahead or do what you have to, it's going to make things about 1,000 times worse for you in the long haul.
Sure, and then you also like these kind of mistakes that Lights are making when he forgets like small things and gets too impatient with what he's doing. Like you make us realize that he's actually just a high school kid, and Al, in comparison, is probably an adult that have solved like several different, very difficult cases all by himself. So he knows exactly what he's doing. Like he's able to pinpoint all of these things in just like a week of like solving the case.
Exactly, yeah, and that's the crazy part about it. L is prepared. He figured out the majority of his thought process too, in the span of a short period of time, and that's what leads into a whole bunch of other stuff going on down the line. It also leads Ryuk to offer a deal as well with the Shinigami's eyes, where it allows him to see the person's name and their lifespan above their heads in exchange for half their lifespan. So it makes you wonder, like, even though he says he won't take it, like, if he was also given an option, would he actually go with it, do you think? Like, would he, if the stakes were against him, like, if he was truly up against the wall, would he take that chance?
Like, I remember when I was watching Death Note for the first time, and Ryuk was doing this whole thing of saying, like, yeah, I have this proposition for you. We can make this deal with the Shinigami eyes. I was kind of surprised at first that he didn't take the deal with the Shinigami eyes. I was like, even though it would shorten his lifespan with half his life, I was like, okay, but I would, like, considering how crazy Light is in the head, I was for sure expecting him to take the deal.
Yeah.
But then I was very surprised when he was like, no, I will not do it if it shortens my lifespan. If it's like increases my lifespan, then yeah, sure. But if it doesn't, that's just dope.
Yeah, exactly. And you get into his thought process as well, because he's somebody who wants to live to see his world come to fruition. He wants to live for as long as possible to make sure that his world is actually going to be realized and actually, be the omnipotent God, so to speak. And then what else is going on there with it. It's but and that leads to all kinds of other stuff going on as well with where he starts keeping tabs on the people that are following him, and it's through his father's files because he's an expert hacker as well. Gets into his dad's computer, discovers that the FBI is involved in the whole investigation in Japan as well, trying to find him. And as you'd expect, that'll probably ruffle his feathers quite a bit. Because, let's see, but this is part of where the whole, what's it called, book smart versus street smart comes into play here. This is where his book smarts actually do come in handy. Because he starts figuring out ways to take the Death Note's functions to their fullest extreme into play. Like, and starts
Yeah, and I mean, he is very smart about it as well. Like, when he figures out things about the Death Note, that if he writes an action and then directly afterwards writes someone's name, it will happen regardless, even if it didn't start with that person's name. And Ryuk was being like, that's something I didn't even know about the Death Note. So he is very smart with how to use it.
Exactly.
I will give him that.
Exactly, yeah. And he also starts trying to make some more outlandish requests to see if people can actually do stuff. Like he tried making somebody go to France in the span of an hour, which would be impossible to begin with, and discovers the limitations are that it can only be that what's doable, so to speak. And also within
they can only do what they were probably going to do it regardless if they were ordered to do it or not.
Exactly, and then that person didn't end up dying anyway. So, they tried to, but it didn't quite work out the way that they had planned.
Yeah.
And which leads into the whole thing as well, though, when he discovers that one drug dealer who robbed a bank, I think, at one point and got himself in trouble, and then found out who it was, and basically staged his own being taken hostage on a bus.
That whole thing, how he did that, though, that was extremely well done. Because he essentially did, so the bus got hijacked, and Light knew that he was followed by an FBI agent.
Yep.
That was tailing him for suspecting him to be Kira, because they are investigating everyone involved with the police, and Light is pretty much high up there because he's the son of the chief. So they need to figure out who is leaking and who is getting all of this police information. So the bus get hijacked by the person that robbed a bank 2 days prior and killed 3 people. And he just gets on there with a gun in his hand, hijacks the bus, and Light is very smart about it because he knows that was going to happen because it was exactly how he'd written it in the Death Note. So he convinces the FBI agent to show him his FBI ID so he isn't an accomplice of this hijacking person. So now he knows his name, and now he can kill him in peace.
Exactly, and just the whole way it went down was so brilliantly executed. He also handed, I think had a piece of the paper that he handed over to the criminal at one point too. So the criminal actually sees Ryuk there and starts firing at him. And it reveals that whoever is holding the Death Note paper can see the Shinigami. And it was just so brilliantly done, though. Like, it's like, prove you're not an accomplice. Prove you're not on my side there. It's like, here it is. My name's Ray Pember. I'm on your side. I'm going to do the thing here. And the irony was that Let was the last person he was going to investigate. So if he left this thing alone, he would have been okay. He wouldn't have been suspected at all to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he fucked up there because, as I said, he gets impatient with his plans, and he gets worried, scared, impatient, and he needs to cover his tracks because he feels like no one can be against him. So he needs to be clear of everything. But if he hadn't messed with this FBI agent to begin with, it would have been clear.
Exactly. He would have gone back to his chief, declared Light's above suspicion, and then bam, series over, and then he would have had his ideal world right then and there. But that's where the next set of consequences comes in. Now that he knows the guy's name there, and arranged for the guy to die in an accident, because as soon as he got off the bus, the drug dealer got hit by a car and died in an accident. That's how it all went down as he wrote it. Another thing I noticed too, by the way, before I continue on with the next section, is that Light has got to do a better job of convincing other people that he's actually not, suspicious in those kinds of situations, because he seemed unnaturally cool in those situations. Like when he was on the bus there, it's like there's a maniac with a gun there. Everyone's freaking out there, and maybe he and the FBI guy were the only ones that were actually cool about it.
Yeah.
Like the FBI guy, I can totally get, but I think even a high school kid would have been freaked out. No matter how cool you are.
Like the date he was with, she was scared as fuck.
Exactly.
That's the normal reaction.
Exactly. And that's just it. Like, I would have at least pretended to have been afraid. And that I think is one of the traits of somebody who's just not right in the head there. They probably aren't able to display proper emotions sometimes. At least when the situation calls for it. Like, they can probably emulate it to an extent when it calls for it, but in this case he dropped the ball, I think. Like, he really could have done a lot better with that.
It could, but it also worked out in his favor because the FBI agent was also stressed out, so he didn't really think that much about it.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't quite sure what to make of the whole thing. But even so, it did work out to a degree, like I said, though, because Light also, again, kept a cool head, went with the situation as it played out there, and that was the end of it, really. But again, because he couldn't leave well enough alone and decide that and let him make his report there saying that he was above suspicion, because once you're in that position as as a self-proclaimed god of death or whatever, trying to do your thing there, you start getting paranoid, and paranoia is like a drug. It gets it's too much of it, and it just messes with your head. And the next thing you know, he goes around there, discovers who Ray Pember is, gets this whole elaborate scheme there, and this leads into the whole thing we were discussing earlier about what's it called, about killing other people or whatever. Like he actually goes in there, like the one guy at the cafe I can kind of get though, because they were saying he was being investigated for a crime or something.
Yeah.
Like he goes in there, kills the cafe worker at the drop of a hat there, and says, "Don't worry, he was being convicted for a crime to begin with, so he was already a villain to begin with." And let's see. Liz says, "I think he's desensitized from helping his dad with police files." That could be it too, I think, because he did help out on a murder case at one point too, didn't he? Like that is.
Yeah, he did. Sometimes they have helped his dad with some cases, so he had been involved with a lot of different cases, coming with advice and things like that. So that's a good point.
Absolutely, yeah. And on a personal note too, it's like what my dad mentioned one time too, because my uncle was a police officer, and and as my dad said, it changes people, the way they look at things, the way they actually interact with other people. Like he went through a lot of grisly work and a lot of other stuff there, and it just made him really much more of a different person. And like to the point of just being A, desensitized to all kinds of stuff there, and B, just far more aggressive too, I might add. And it's also one of the reasons why my dad and he don't speak anymore, unfortunately. So that's what happened in that case. But so I definitely agree with that one though, Liz, because police work definitely can change a person, especially when you're dealing with some of the worst things that humanity has to offer. And but let's see, but that's where it gets into the whole thing. Speaking of changing people, like Light's going off the deep end right now. He's now in public. Let's see, at Ray Pember's back. Let's see, threatening to kill everybody in the station if he doesn't comply. And which leads into the whole thing, like we were discussing earlier, like how far are you willing to go to make your ideal come true, and how much of a monster are you willing to become in order to make that happen? Because he coerces him to get on the train, write down the names of his accomplices on a sheet of paper there, and then gets more information from them from the computer there, and then as soon as it's over, finally reveals himself to Ray Pember there before killing him.
Yeah, and it's just so fucked up the way he did that, but it's also
Mm-hmm.
really smart how he did it. The whole thing of taking a page of the Death Note and having Ray Pember himself write down
That's
all the
right.
names of the
Yes.
colleagues with all
Mm-hmm.
their pictures attached so he knows who is writing down. And then realizing that that was actually the Death Note, so he accidentally killed all of his colleagues that was coming to Japan to
Mm-hmm.
investigate.
Yeah, that was just absolutely twisted but brilliant in the end because it A helped cover his tracks and B just like utterly destroyed the entire task force in the process.
It absolutely did. And it also made the FBI in general to back down because they were like, no, we're not dealing with this craziness.
Exactly, and the president said, "We're out of here. I'm not risking any more agents. Get them out of there now." And then, but you really feel for Ray Pember too because he was just a guy doing his job. He wanted to be with his wife and family, and he was of course had to get married, which is, as you know, in any anime or series, like once they start mentioning that in an episode where the stakes are this high, you know he's going to be gone. Unfortunately.
Yeah, when I was watching it for the first time, and as soon as I realized that I had a fiance and they were supposed to marry soon and have a kid and things like that, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh no, he's gonna die, isn't he? But he's such a good
Yep.
dude.
I know it was so heartbreaking to see that. Like I liked Ray. He was really cool. I wanted to see him making out of the thing alive. And again, if he had just if they had just left well enough alone for a bit and not gone on this on another crazy scheme and being paranoid, it would have all
Mm,
worked out. It
it
would have
would.
and then and then and now we're in a situation where his fiance is out for revenge. And she herself used to be a an Interpol agent, I think. So
Yeah, she also used to be an FBI agent.
she's also very sharp too, so she doesn't mess around.
No, but for sure, like the thing that amazed me with Maki as soon as we saw her was the fact that she was immediately questioning the whole thing, being like,
Mm-hmm.
"But are you sure it was an accident with the bus hijacking? Like, if Kira was on that bus, it could have
Mm-hmm.
been very close. Like, don't you think so?" And Ray is
Yeah,
almost immediately being like, "Maki, please stop. Like, I know you've been an FBI agent, but like, you're gonna be my wife soon. Just relax." This is like, but she's speaking the truth.
exactly. It's like listen to her, dude. She's on to this. Listen to her. Like as soon as I saw that, it's like this is not a time. This is no time for the whole "not now, Junior, go away" thing. Like this is serious
Yeah,
shit going on right now. Listen to your fiance. She's trying to help you.
exactly. And
And
she
yeah,
extremely smart about it. I was like,
yep.
but wait, like, why are you not listening to her?
I know, right? It's like at the most crucial moments they just grab the idiot ball and that's that. And they're like there's like no, it couldn't happen. I'll be fine. And sure enough, they're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
And so now as I was saying though, she's let's see now that Elle has taken out her fiance, now he's got that to worry about now, and that's a whole other loose end to tie up on top of all that stuff. And it's been a crushing blow to the whole police department too, because once the FBI begins to withdraw, and let's see the police start turning on each other and start wondering who's getting all this information, where's it coming from, is it one of our own, and is Elle really on our side? They start questioning things there. They realize Elle's been investigating them too to try and figure it out, and that sows all kinds of discord between them.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's also kind of like, okay, but guys, we are aware that Kira is getting all of this information from something or someone getting leaked
Mm-hmm.
from all this information that we have. Shouldn't we suspect the police?
Yeah,
Come on,
exactly.
think of it.
Precisely, because if they have that much high-profile information, it's got to be somebody on the inside. And unfortunately, it's far closer than they think, because obviously it's the guy's son. But
Yeah, and I just feel like it's a little bit ridiculous how Light is like a pro hacker that is supposed to be
mhm.
leaving no traces at his police chief father's computer.
Exactly, yeah. Unless he knows his dad's password or some way of getting in, though, that's got to be some high-level hacking over there.
Yeah.
Because because surely if they were in his computer system, they might have noticed some timestamps where files were being accessed, because those do exist.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, imagine if they were able to trace that back to a different source or track down a different IP address. Unless they're using a spoofer for it. They would determine somebody's getting inside there, but they wouldn't be able to determine who exactly, but they would know something's definitely going on. And that would bring the source far closer to home, and then that would probably put L under the... Sorry, not L, but a light under the spotlight once again.
Yeah, it would.
Let's see, TV Killer says, the worst part is I've seen that happen way too often. Yeah, exactly. With characters, like you just know they're going to be dead in a few moments or so.
Yeah.
It's like what happened with Han Solo in the new Star Wars movies. Where you see the whole thing trying to reconcile or whatever. It's like, or what's his name with even to an extent with Goose in Top Gun. Don't ask me how, but I had a feeling he wasn't going to make it out of that movie alive.
But it's always the good guys too that die way
too
soon.
I know. It's so tragic. And now, let's see. And now we have the what's it called? Let's see. Now we have the turmoil within the police department where everyone starts resigning en masse. Like everybody's just getting the hell out of Dodge. They're saying we don't want to be a part of this anymore. And then Light's dad gives them the choice of staying on the case or leaving. He's saying, I'm not going to fault you for choosing your lives over this, but this is our chance to do this for justice and to help bring this killer out of the picture. And sure enough, only roughly 5 officers remain on the case.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't blame them because, like, just seconds ago or a day ago, 12 FBI agents, some of the best agents in the U.S., just got killed just like that.
Exactly.
So I can't blame any agents for wanting to be really like, nah, fuck that, I'm out of here.
Precisely. And on top of all that, now they have to try and figure out what's going on. And this is where Elle starts getting a bit desperate, because for the first time, he's forced to, as he mentions, put his life on the line and actually risk himself for the sake of his case. And that's when he goes to meet with the police for the very first time and actually reveal his face to them, which is something he'd never done before in his life.
Yeah.
And so he goes over to a hotel, gives them specific instructions on what to do. Basically, no cell phones. Let's see, address him under an assumed name in case they happen to figure out what he's up to. Interviews them one by one to determine that they're not part of the, that they're not Kira. And what else is going on there? He, what's it called? And the whole, just that whole meeting there was an interesting moment in the series too, because Elle also mentions that he concludes that that Kira has to also be a childish person who doesn't want to lose, because as by his own admission, he's the exact same way. Which is kind of funny when you think about it.
It is. Like, they're very similar as characters. They're just on both different kind of perspectives. Like, they're like yin and yang when it comes to philosophy and what side they're thinking with and things like that. So it's very interesting to see, because in general, you would think that L is like a little bit more mature than Light, but like when he is himself being like, yeah, I'm childish too, and I hate losing, so that's why I'm gonna catch this guy. And it's like, oh, okay, I see.
Yep. And this is going to be this makes it even more interesting too, because now that we finally actually see see L's face in the series, he's almost like like you mentioned before, the exact polar opposite of Light, because you would think that somebody who's going after people like that would look a lot like L does, and that L would look a lot like Light does. When it comes right down to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
that's actually kind of funny, because like L himself, he kind of looks like a himbo.
Yeah, it's like he's been up for way too many days, doing way too many things there. Like isn't wearing shoes, is just hunched over his chair half the time. And looks like he's on his 30,000th cup of coffee on top of that as well.
With way too much sugar in it.
Yep, like it's just putting cube after cube after cube of sugar in there. I saw that. That was so funny. And
I was like, hey, that's me.
it's like I don't know. It's I thought he was going to mention the sugar at that point. It's because the one cop is like, beg your pardon, and when he's pointing out the sugar, I think it was. And but it's interesting to see how this whole thing's going to turn out though, because now we see the both of them, and it's going to be what's it called? Words are failing me right now at this point. Like they're even their thought patterns are so similar. Because I was remembering, because I was watching some more of it last night, and they're going over like it's like there's one thing I'm missing over here, and then sorry, Light himself is going like there's one loose end I gotta tap over here. It's like, but what is it? And they're
Yeah, exactly. Elle is like, there's this one clue that I need to solve this, and Light is like, there's this one clue that I fucked up. What is it?
And as it turns out, the one thing he fucked up with was again the woman Maki, who was Pember's fiance, because she's going to the police now to try and figure out what's happened. And it was only by the grace of God that the chief wasn't there.
Yeah, like the only time the chief probably is not at the police headquarters, of course, because he's at Elle's hotel room instead of the headquarters. So Light gets to talking to her, and he realizes very quickly that Maki, she have figured everything out. And
Exactly.
he starts panicking.
Yep, he knows that's the missing link right there. Let's see, Tree, you made me flee. How did I make you flee, Bree? How did I make you flee? Tenchi, hey, how are you today? Good to see you again. What's up? Thank you for joining the show today. Welcome, welcome. Let's see, but yeah, as soon as he figures out, though, she's figured out how he's doing it, what's going on there, the exact pattern with the deaths, just like how Elle himself figured that out with the how people are dying and the exact time span with it. Let's see. So Maki knows what's going on, and as soon as he's it ends on with him realizing that he's got to take her out because she knows too much now. Let's see. Tenchi says, "Could better just woke up a little while ago." I hear you there. Had a bit of a late start myself over here. It's been a bit of a rough one this week so far, but I hope you're doing all right though. It's good to have you around today all the same though. But yeah, with regards to Maki though, it is interesting though to mention how when they're revealing themselves, introducing themselves to each other with Maki and Light, how they give the specific characters for their names.
Yeah, that was also smart how Light did that. We just casually introducing himself as Light Yagami and just then going through his characters. Because that's just a common thing that you do when you introduce yourself, but it's maybe not as common to go through your characters. But because he did it, Maki feels like she needs to do the same thing.
Exactly, and given what's been going on so far, let's see, and how much she knows already, I'm betting you anything, dollars to friggin' donuts, that the name she gave him was a fake.
Yeah, that would be really smart from her part to just give out a fake name because she is an FBI agent. Like, why would you give out your real name?
Exactly. She knows that her fiance gave his name out. She's not going to make the same mistake again. Because and especially if it is him after all. She doesn't trust anybody else out there. She's out for revenge. She's out for and she's not taking any chances whatsoever. Even though she's right next to the killer, she's not going to give her real name away. So I'm betting you anything that's a fake name she gave him.
I mean, the only trustworthy thing, I guess, is like the fact that he's like the chief's son, so he's supposed to be like quote unquote trustworthy because he knows that he's his dad, and of course he's supposed to be like filled with justice and things like that.
Yeah.
So.
And that's just the. Sorry. Go ahead.
Like, I swear to God, if he wasn't related to the chief, he would have been caught so much sooner.
I know, right? Like, he had that very lucky break with his dad being the police chief. And and like we were saying beforehand too, he's made so many mistakes on this whole thing too. Like from just killing too many people to going about it in the wrong way, using the same methods, the same motivation, the same everything really. And once you do that, police start picking up on a pattern, and
Yeah,
they're
because
gonna
it was
find
just
out.
so funny in a sense where as soon as Elle was like, I think we have a student.
Yep.
The killer is a student, and then he just started like changing the patterns of when he started killing people.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, hey, oh, you dumb. Like, I
Uh
get
huh.
that you can't stay on the same pattern forever, but like instantly changing it as soon as they come to the conclusion that it's a student,
Yep.
it's not a good idea.
Yeah, because they're gonna suspect it even more. Because police catch on to that shit very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
They are made to analyze people's patterns, behaviors, and everything in between. So they're gonna find out. You're not gonna be able to escape, like, unless you Now if he'd gone about it quietly, like if he'd gone about it in a manner that actually had, like randomly killing somebody this way or doing it this way or the other or something in between. It proves it's a student at this point. Exactly, Tenchi. Yes, thank you very much. It only just goes back to that same conclusion as before, and
Yeah, exactly.
it's just going to make things about 1,000 times more difficult for him than it has to be. And one of the worst things he could have done too was playing into L's hands with the whole body double thing at the opening. And
Oh, yeah.
what's going on in chat over here? I'm sorry. Attention, look at this invisible can opener. Why is it invisible? Because I don't know where it is. Good one, Liz. I
I
like
don't know what's
that.
happening in chat, but there's something about the invincible can opener.
Yeah, basically, Liz was saying she couldn't find her can opener, so and that's why it's invisible. Invisible to her, perhaps, but even so. And don't worry, I'm sure you'll find it in the drawer with all the other invisible stuff as well. Let me know. Let me know if the Holy Grail's in there too. By the way, Liz. Let's see, but yeah, it just proves that it's a student at this point, Tenchi. You're absolutely right. And again, like it's just the whole rashness of youth is doing him in pretty badly at this point, because he knows he's being followed, and they're keeping an eye out for homes where the lights are still on at those hours where the killings are taking place,
Yeah.
and so he's
And I
changing
just
up his.
find it interesting
Mhm.
as well when it comes to Ryuk, when he's like, I'm not on your side, but I'm not on L's side either. I'm just here, kind of thing. And it's
Exactly.
like it's very interesting because he's just kind of an observer because he needs to be there because that's his death note. So unless Light dies and he writes his name in his own death note, he needs to stay there.
Precisely. Yeah. That's how it all works out, because the way that he's going to die, once you pick up a death note, it means whichever Shinigami is assigned to it is going to write your name there as the way you die. When it comes your time to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it all works. Let's see, but what else are I going to go into as well? But the whole interesting thing with the Shinigami eyes is back on that for a second. It's like, I don't know, if I was in that situation though, and I had the ability to go after some of the more heinous people in life, I would totally take it if given that choice, because that would be a chance to get rid of some truly bad actors in the world though. But therein lies the rub though. You have to be able to determine that you're doing the right thing, and going it. And but then again, it also begs the question: how do you measure that? How are you able to determine if these people truly are hard? Because you're still just committing murder, which is the
Yeah,
ultimate
exactly.
in cardinal sins. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Ryuk is just there for fun and to watch. Exactly. He's just kind of like just sitting there to troll half the time, and also observe, and also eat apples. He does
Yeah.
he does love apples. I'll give you that, Ted. He certainly does.
His obsession with apples is so funny because that's like the first thing he eats in the human realm, and then it's just like, these apples are delicious. These are gonna be my thing now.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like the only thing he eats at that point going forward. It's hysterical.
Yeah. I mean, it's a
And
Shinigami, so it doesn't really need to eat, but
if they taste good, they taste good, I guess. Not going to
yeah.
fault him for that. And again, it ties into the whole thing with religion as well too, with the apple being the gateway to original sin and whatnot too. And when the snake tempted Eve to eat the apple, the forbidden fruit of knowledge, and all that stuff. And also it ties into the whole thing with religion as well, with murder being the fifth commandment in the list of the 10 commandments. And it's also like, which begs the question though, how can you be a god of a better world if you're disobeying the commandment of thou shalt not kill? I'm not much of a religious person, but it's just an observation I wanted to make on that one as well.
Yeah,
And
it's a good
go ahead,
it's a
sorry.
good thing to discuss. Being like, okay, but like you call yourself a god, but what says that you are able to stand over all of other living creatures and being like, yeah, but I have the permission to kill, and it's like, but why do you though? Like, why do you have the right to kill when others don't?
Precisely, what gives you that authority to do that sort of thing? And then, which goes on to a take by the late great George Carlin when he discusses the fifth commandment as well, when he discusses that throughout human history, more people have been killed in the name of God than for any other reason. And which begs the question: how, is it any different when somebody proclaiming to be a god is killing in his own name, for his own sake? Like how does this all work out now? All right, and who are you really benefiting in this case besides just yourself? And are you really going to be a benevolent god or whatever if you're actually just making people scared?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing too. Like people are just scared of getting judged, and that's the thing that Light wants. He wants people to be scared and afraid of him, so he can do whatever he wants and pass judgments on people. But it's like, but that's not creating a better world, though, is it?
No, not at all. You're creating a dystopia essentially. All you're doing is just making people afraid of you. You're essentially going to make it. Let's see, when you have people that are cheering you on, you create a whole cult of personality around you with the whole Kira website. And that's no different from many of the dictators throughout history, with like Hitler or Stalin or the others for that matter.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a very scary thing to do. I mean, especially like when one of the police officers, Matsuda, when he points out, but like the Kira have made the crime rate go down a lot since they started killing criminals, and the chief is still like, yeah, but like that's just to be taken for granted because of course that's gonna happen when you start killing people randomly.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and then just L pointing out later on, being like, even if we would censor criminals' names on television, what do you think would happen? He would start killing civilians.
Precisely, yeah. And on top of all that, too, the crazy thing is, though, when you start believing that you're omnipotent and saying that that all crime is punishable by death or something like that, it really begs the question: what counts as a crime in that case? Because when you're given that much power, as it's seen with authoritarian societies, the definition of crimes can change very quickly and oftentimes on a whim. Whether it's from either stealing an apple to criticizing the state, and that can be punishable by death as well. And that's no way to live, not for anybody.
No, it's not. As you said, it just turns into a dystopia and a dictatorship because if anyone would start going against the state, even if they were not particularly going against Light himself, they probably would be killed to be like, oh, but you're starting a rebellion in my kingdom or something like that. And it's like, yeah, but dude, then you have become the person you said you would kill to begin with.
Precisely, you would become nothing more than a criminal yourself. All you're doing is becoming the absolute worst kind of criminal. Let's see, and it seems chat's going into discussion about apples over here. Apples are very good. Oh, yes, indeed. I like sour apples, golden delicious apples, green apples. I can go with green apples as long as I skin them. Yes, exactly. Let's see, and that leads into the whole thing, though. Light himself has become a bad apple. When it comes right down to it, though. After viewing criminals as bad apples, he has himself become the worst apple of them all, with a big fat worm at the center of it all.
I mean, yeah, exactly. And that's just the point of the entire police force being like, but he's just a murderer. And then Light takes kind of offense to that, being like, excuse me? I'm cleaning up if I'm doing anything. And it's like, no, you're not.
Precisely, and then again, that also begs the question too. How do you call it cleaning up when you're basically tearing the entire place apart to get every last speck of dirt, or
Yeah.
or any last speck of perceived dirt? Which, let's see, at that point you're basically becoming like Macbeth, or Lady Macbeth for that matter too, when she's like out, damned spot, get out, trying to rub her hands off of what she sees as blood, but her hands are clean. And then and also when Macbeth finally went crazy and started turning his country into a what's it called? Not so much dystopia, but also became like a tyrant. Killed his own friend, killed the king to take over, and now he's basically gone mad. Because as the saying goes, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and that's what's happening with Light over here too.
Absolutely. And he's slowly going insane if he wasn't insane from the beginning.
And like we were discussing earlier, though, I think he was definitely not all there under the surface, though. He was maintaining his grades, doing well, which also wonders too. With it's also been said that the line between genius and madman is often a fine one, and Light's got both feet firmly on either side of that line.
Yeah, yeah.
Because let's be real though, because it's like he's playing both sides of the genius and madman fence over there. Let's see, and that's also which also what I wanted to ask too, by the way, Nadja. What's your take on it though? Let's see, could he be classified as a hero or a madman, or both? Do you think?
Like in my perspective, when it comes to Light, I would say that he's more perceived as a madman rather than a hero. I can understand the cause of him wanting to kill all criminals to end the crimes in general, of trying to punish people that needs to be punished, and what's the cause of doing that when they would be executed to begin with for the crimes that they did, and even killing people that have committed more or less severe crimes and being let off from that. As Liz said, cleaning up criminals that get off too easy. And
exactly.
I can see that as a noble goal, but doing it the way that he has done, killing hundreds of people in just the span of a couple of days, shows that he's way more of a madman than a hero.
Exactly, yes, because and again, it kind of goes without saying, but either way, though, like if you're gonna kill that many people right off the bat, like you were saying, you've already gone off the deep end. I think there's no coming back from that. There's no justifying even if they were bad people to a degree, but it's a whole bunch of people that are already in prison to begin with, which also begs the question too, like how much of a hero are you if you're already killing people who are doing time in prison to begin with? Like they've already
exactly.
They've already been caught. They're already doing time. They're already being punished for their crimes. So, what good does it do to kill them already?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what good is it for you to go over the justice system and deal justice for yourself, rather than your own satisfaction that you actually quote unquote doing something? Like the crime have already been punished. You don't need to do anything more than that.
Exactly. Let's see, and by the same token, let's see, as Tenchi's saying here too, yes, exactly. It could also get to the point of Light eventually thinking that all criminals, no matter how small the crime is, guilty. And that could, that's a dangerous way of thinking to begin with, because it's like treating every single crime as something severe. And that's no way to mete out justice. That's just punishment.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too. It feels like it would be going that way, because if Light became a god of this new world and he can do whatever kind of punishment he wants, killing anyone with a death note and have no one to stop him, It would just be like, okay, but what's the difference between doing like shoplifting and murdering someone? They're both crimes, technically.
And if all crimes are punishable by death, then that's going to wind up doing all kinds of stuff. And furthermore, whatever happens to like the circumstances of somebody's crime or somebody doing something like that, like say somebody steals something to survive, like taking a loaf of bread to feed your family. Like that's understandable, but if you're going to treat it as punishable by death, then what's the point in that point?
Yeah, exactly.
It treats every single crime as not even worth investigating. Not even, let's see, it would mean throwing compassion out the window, throwing not even being able to make your case or plead innocence to a degree.
I mean, that's why we have rules and laws in order to begin with.
Exactly. Same with due process. That's what's also important too. And it's and that's the thing though. It's a slow grind going through the justice system, and occasionally it fucks up, and sometimes often so unfairly. Let's see, quite often in my opinion, but that's besides the point. But the point is though, what's the alternative to it? Going all extrajudicial, being a vigilante and doing this sort of thing. Now, I can kind of understand if he was to go around doing this in a fashion where he were to follow crimes of hostage taking on the news, maybe some sort of criminal or terrorist leader across the world that committed a heinous crime. That I can understand using the Death Note for, because they'd be hard to find and track down. That would make people think twice about that sort of thing, though. It would also be more of a low-profile sort of thing. You'd be able to do it, get rid of them, keep your conscience clear at the same time, and also keep people off your back because it would happen so sporadically.
Yeah.
But then again, that would also open a whole other can of worms. What would happen then if you were to do that sort of thing with the bigger criminals? Would that just draw more of them out there to try and get your attention? Kind of like with what happens with Batman or Superman. Because when he starts going after them, the big name criminals, they get more outlandish, more cartoon-like in a way to try and get his attention.
Exactly, and I feel like if you try to go after like the leaders of the bad guys with terrorist groups and whatnot, like it feels like then he also would be hunted down by like the entire world. So he would not be able to survive regardless if he went after like the big guys, but he would be able to take out some of the worst people this world has to offer.
Exactly, yeah. So he'd be basically living as a imagine the potential behind an alternate universe of that sort of thing, like where he goes as sort of a vigilante, taking out terrorists, criminals, and other high-profile leaders of nefarious organizations. That could actually be that would be interesting when you think about it. And as Liz said, that would be considered an act of God in third world places. Exactly, yes. Like imagine having that go down. Like you've been living under the thumb of a dictator for the longest time. Like there's no hope of getting better there. He has everybody on his side: the police, religious leaders, local leaders, and even international leaders are on his payroll too. And then suddenly drops dead.
Yeah.
Because some kid with a death note. And as Tenchi says, though, he went after the bigger criminals. They figured he wouldn't be a student at all. Exactly, because no student would be able to pull all that sort of power in the eyes of the justice system. It would allow him to cover his tracks a lot more easier, and I think the mistake too is going after some of the small time criminals too, and furthermore, going after the ones that are already behind bars is also, I think, quite cowardly in a way. It's kind of like quail hunting in a hunting reserve, where you track down a bird. It's up against a fence to begin with. Like it can't get away. It can't get into the wild. It can't do its thing to try and escape. So there's no real shot of it actually being a fair hunt. So you're basically hunting a caged animal in a sense. So
I mean, that actually makes sense though, because he feels that he's better because he's hunting someone that's already caught, because they can't really escape, but he's also not brave enough in a sense to go after all the world leaders, and in a sense also then becoming some sort of hero for taking out some of the worst pieces of shit that we have seen.
Exactly.
But then also probably dying very quickly because he just killed some of the most influential people in the world.
Exactly, and it also begs the question: what's more important though in those eyes, being a hero or being a god? Because you do want to do well, you do want to do right by other people, but at the same time though, you don't want to turn people against you or draw too much attention. So it's kind of a fine line to walk.
Yeah, I can totally see that. But in Light's eyes, though, because he's so obsessed with becoming a god, like, I feel like he just wants power and he just wants to feel satisfaction of being the one passing on judgment rather than focusing of, if it is right or wrong or anything like that. He just wants to have power.
Exactly, yeah, and that's ultimately what's doing him in right now. Like I mentioned before, like absolute power corrupts absolutely, and it's going to be the end of him one day. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
And I can only speculate what's going to happen next though, because either that woman's going to outsmart him in some way, or be some sort of clue there, or he'll find some way to get rid of her, or something else is going to happen. I can't say for sure. I didn't go that far ahead. I'm still on episode 6 right now, but I can only guess at what's going to happen next though, and it is going to be awesome so far. Because it's been a hell of a ride so far. I'm loving the dynamic between Elle and Light, how they're both trying to keep themselves out of the limelight, and then it's just one big long chase from start to finish. It looks like, and I can't wait to see what happens with it. And yeah, Tenchi.
There's so many
Oh, sorry.
twists. Yeah, but yeah, Tenchi's also right. Like,
sorry.
it doesn't help that he instantly went after Al when he thought he would be a threat to his goals, and he just caused it to prove Al right. And yeah, and we discussed this earlier, but yeah, you're totally right, because it was very dumb of him to do that.
Yeah, exactly. You basically tipped your hand right off the bat, and then you just reveal that you have limitations to your abilities. You just expose yourself on the world stage that you're not all powerful, that you're not a god to begin with, which is antithetical to your entire cause if you're trying to become a god.
Yeah, and like, just the most stupid thing that he has done so far is just kind of the thing of like sending L a little bit of clues about his powers, like in general, like he's able to kill people if he sees their face or their name, but he needs to see them and there are some kind of name, otherwise L would have been dead at this point. And also just sending him clues in general about like the thing of like, L, did you know Shinigami's likes apples? And it's like, bro.
It's like, and that's one of the other things that I don't get why killers do that. It's just a measure of arrogance in the long haul. You never ever write notes to the police or taunt them in any way. It's stupid. You don't do that.
No, but for real, like it was like, how did you think it was going to be a good idea? Because now you actually gave away that you're dealing with a Shinigami, and L's entire theories that he's killing people supernaturally is true.
Precisely, yeah. It also proves they need to see their name and face to kill them. Exactly. Thank you, Tenchi. That's the whole. It's just he's basically unraveled his whole element of superiority from the start with that whole thing. Let's see, but anyways, I wasn't trying to cut you off. I'm sorry though, Nadja. What were you were saying there were so many twists and turns in the whole thing. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, but like the show just moves very, very fast. So like, even if you think you know what's gonna happen, it just doesn't go that way.
It really doesn't. It's got more twists and turns than a go-go dancer in a blender at this point.
I mean, yeah, because like if it was a normal show, it feels like Ray would have lived a little bit longer than he did, but he was just like, nope, you got.
Exactly, and I'm telling you, I wonder if they're doing like an alternate universe special or something like that, because that would be so interesting to see what would have happened if things had taken a different route. Like, what if they'd gone this way? What if Ray Pember had made his report, and what if Elle had been dropped from the case? Would he still become a vigilante at that point? Let's see, yeah, because Elle needs to keep his face hidden because he never shows his face either. Exactly, apart from when he sees the police. Go-go dancer in a blender, really? Yes, exactly, a go-go dancer in a blender, yes. More twists and turns and that sort of thing. I mean, what other comparison is there to make, really? Apart from like, maybe a break dancer in a blender?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see, spinning like a dreidel in a sandstorm at that point. But, But can you imagine though, if things had gone the way that Light wanted to, and L becomes a sort of a rogue agent, just doing his own thing to try and figure out what's happening, goes behind the scenes to try and like message Light in the like on back channels or whatever, like hacking into media broadcasts where L's considered the villain, and says to him, says your new god is a liar.
Yeah, but I feel like even if Light's plan with having the entire discord between the police and L becoming real, of being like, we don't trust you, you're out of this investigation, you can go on your own way if you want to. Even if they would have let him alone, I feel like L is one of those characters that he would have found him regardless, even if he would be working alone.
Exactly, and that would have made it such an awesome twist too. Like if he was able to just go rogue, do his own thing there, because he would find him. That man does not give up. He does not back down. He has ways of keeping himself hidden, and he's kind of like the like a quintessential secret agent in a way, like unassuming, and goes from place to place, figuring out which way to go.
Yeah, for sure. And like
yeah.
L is just a very cool character. Like, definitely my favorite character in Death Note, and I'm just generally like excited for you to see more of him, because we have just been introduced to what he looks like and like some of his behaviors, and it's just like it's just a wholesome dude when you look at him.
Absolutely is, yeah. I want to see more of what he's about too. And Tenji says, yeah, because L's just that smart and stubborn of a character. Exactly, he totally is. Like no, like even if he were in the worst situation on the planet, he would still find a way to make it work. Like the dude has solved all kinds of murder cases beforehand, or all across the world. Like that guy, there's no stopping him, I think. And all in all, though, I'm glad I made the decision to go with this series too, because I'm just taken into the whole world here, seeing where it all goes, and I'm in love with the whole aspect of the whole cat and mouse thing. But I also wonder too, with the Death Note too, what if somebody else had found it instead of L? Like, what if it had fallen into the hands of, say, an unscrupulous dictator across the world, and who starts like using it to hold the world for ransom, going after all kinds of stuff there?
That would have been so bad if that happened.
Like people would have died in droves at that point in time. Which also makes you wonder as well too, if that had happened. When you think about it, would that have also meant that in that timeline, would L and Light have teamed up together to work against this guy?
That's an interesting question, though. I feel like maybe, like if they felt like their goals were aligning or something like that. Like let's say there was a second Death Note that fall into the human realm, and a real nut job got a hold of it, and they were feeling like, oh fuck, this guy is more crazy than I am. And maybe they would team up and be like, we need to take this guy out, otherwise we're fucked, all of us.
Let's see. Let's bring in L. We'll bring in the section chief's son as well too. He helped us on this one case over here, and let's see. He's got a killer instinct, so we'll call him Kira. That could be a tie-in from the original series too, when you think about it. But this is mostly just speculation right now, so I don't mean to get off the rails on that whole thing though. But this whole series makes you think in ways you never thought before, and that's what I love about it so much. It gets your brain turning. You don't know what to expect, where it's gonna go, how to see what to expect, where to go, what to think about it. Let's see. I also agree, Nadja, L's the best character, says Tetchi. You are right though. He's awesome. Because when you're able to keep yourself hidden like Light can, it affords you a certain degree of I don't want to say invulnerability, but a certain degree of protection. Because you're able to go about making this case, and what's it called? Keeping things. Sorry, advertisements are just getting in my head right now. I can't focus when there's two things at once. But more to the point, though, it affords you protection and being able to like actually go about your business without being worried about having your loved ones or family threatened. Because if they don't know you, they can't threaten you in any way. They can't like go after the things that matter most to you. Which is
Yeah,
why
exactly.
L operates solo, I think.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Like, this is the first time he's actually shown himself, and it just shows that he also have a big morale of being like, okay, I'm actually gonna put myself on the line. I know that this can get me killed if we fuck this thing up, but I'm not gonna die because I'm gonna catch this guy. I'm confident.
Exactly, and that's gonna be a crucial thing though in the end because we don't know if he's gonna do it or not. We don't know how he's gonna do it, but I'm confident he can as well. I want to see where this thing turns out. I want to see him be able to I want to see him pull it off if he can, and
Yeah.
because I'm sure Light has his motivations though, but this has gone too far off the deep end, I think, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, for sure. And like, I'm also like interested to be like, when the dad finds out that his son is the killer, what do you think he's gonna do?
I'm not sure. Besides either disown his son to begin with, get rid of all his belongings there, and then just try to hunt him down too. But it's got to be conflicting too, because that's your own kid right there. This is somebody who's helped you
Yeah.
out before, like your own flesh and blood. You raised this person, and now he's become the very person who's trying to destroy everything around you.
Yeah, when you thought you knew your own son and he turned out to be a monster.
Precisely. It's like, how do you deal with that? That's got to be a shock to your system. If my own kid was doing something like that, like it would be hard to do at first, but I would still turn him in. I would still try to go after him, because family or no, the best way to keep people safe and to keep my family safe, let's say my son included in that case, would be to bring him in.
I mean, yeah, because he's a danger to everyone if this continues.
Precisely, and if nothing else, though, it would be mercy as a father in that sense to bring his own son in, because
Yeah.
at least you know your son would still be alive and be able to try and let's see, potentially, I don't want to say rehabilitate, because you can't rehabilitate crazy in that sense. Not that kind of power mad omnipotent crazy. But it would at least give a chance to have him contemplate his actions and see what would happen if he does indeed get caught by his dad. So it's going to be interesting to see how that whole thing plays out. Like, I don't know, what do you
yeah,
think?
sure. Like, I know what's gonna happen.
Like
But
you've seen the series, yes, but like from pure speculation though, like what would happen? Like, say that was your kid doing this sort of thing. Like, how would you react? How would you handle that sort of thing?
like, if that was my own kid, like, I would probably turn him indirectly, because it's like, I don't remember raising a monster, you know.
Exactly. Yes.
If the person that has grown up in my house and been a complete angel, or like a perfect son in general, turning out to be a mass murderer, claiming to becoming a god, I would be like, "You crazy? What are you talking about? I don't remember seeing you like this."
Exactly. And there's no justification for it whatsoever. There's no reason to So I don't care if you're thinking you're cleaning up the world or doing a service to people there. No, you're not doing that sort of thing there. That is what I would raise any of my kids to do at that point. If I had children of my own, I would never raise them to do that. I would raise them to basically live and let live. Do the best you can for people who need it, but don't let yourself be drawn into power crazy schemes. Because no one is all powerful. No one is like that.
No, and no one deserves to have that kind of power either. Like, I
Yes.
guess that Ryuk was really bored in the realm, and he was like, "I'm bored. I'm just gonna drop my death note and see what happens, lol." But it's just like, Ryuk, you son of a bitch, stop.
Yup, you basically went and fucked a whole bunch of people over.
Yeah.
It's like why did you just drop there anyway? It's like, because I was bored. I wanted to see what would happen.
And then it's just crazy that Light is just like, "Oh yeah, that's fine. I was bored too." And I was like, "Yeah, but you could have been bored. Maybe don't start a mass murdering project."
Exactly. It's just like it's like if you're bored, just go like go try and find a way to cure cancer with that gift you have there. Like go study, read a book, go see a movie, play a game or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell, make a game for God's sake that doesn't involve murdering people. It does sound like Ryu can.
Especially if you're that smart, you can do it.
Precisely, like you're number one on the national average. Just do something to help out. Let's see, it does sound like Ryu. You're right, Tetchi. It totally does. And Liz is going like put the apples in the basket. I will not ask second time. With a frog knife over there. Let's see. You best be careful though with that frog with the knife there, right? Because I got a pot with boiling water and I'm not afraid to use it on that frog. But more to the point though, it's like you were saying though, no one should have that kind of power because human beings are flawed creatures. We're not meant to have that kind of ability over other people or other things for that matter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which I kind of guess was a Light's motivation to begin with.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like that's also Ryuk's motivation to begin with because he wanted to create chaos. He was bored, so he was just like, I just want to see what happens. And even if he claims he hasn't been in the human realm for thousands of years, you knew this was gonna happen.
Exactly. And also with the motivation of wanting to do right and do well by other people, it's just done. It doesn't do well in the long haul at all for anybody. It just doesn't.
No, it just doesn't. And I'm kind of surprised that Ryuk actually was surprised that Light used the Death Note to the extent that he did for the short amount that he had it before Ryuk went down to the human realm and being like, wait, have you used it that much? And it was like, yeah, but what did you think was gonna happen? He got like the power to kill anyone. What do you think?
Well, then again, what would you expect in a world where all they do is just basically gamble and talk all day?
Right.
It's not like they have any sort of Shinigami school or anything. It's just basically they go there and just gamble and while their time away doing nothing.
I mean, they don't want to die anyway, so they just take some lifespan from people so they don't die, but they don't have anything to do either.
Precisely. There could be a whole... And therein lies the whole motivation, too. Like, use that time to teach Shinigami what not to do with their Death Notes. and have the whole thing with Ryuk be a cautionary tale.
Right.
Because it may help you in the short term with so many folks getting killed, but at the same time though it just caused a massive calamity. And the next thing you know, it's just going to be like, oh my god. I can only imagine what would happen if there were more than one of those Death Notes too. On top of that.
Like if a second Death Note gets introduced, it's gonna be so chaotic.
Now I have more than one person killing people at that point in time.
Like just imagine a second person coming in with a Death Note and being like, even if they're on Light's side, they were like, yeah, you're doing the right thing, and it's like, oh god, here we go.
Let's see, and also imagine the day-to-day applications of this whole thing too. It's like I would be afraid to go near anybody who might even have a shot of having that thing. It's like say some creep sitting on a girl at a bar, and it's like writes the guy's name down there, and that's that.
Yeah. all the memes that comes from Death Note being like, I wish I had a Death Note for all my enemies that I have in this world. And it's like, I don't think you want to do that, bro.
Yeah, you really don't, because you try just like Lightwood, you become a power mad mass murderer.
Right? Like, look at Light. That was happened in just a span of a few days.
Yep. Yeah, because as soon as he figured out that it worked, he just immediately went on a rampage. And it's just like it's almost like going to a casino in that way. Once you start going on a winning streak with like killing folks and thinking you can get away with it, you're going to keep on going until you're either stopped or made to stop.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's very little self-control.
He will not stop until like either he gets caught or someone just shoots him or kills him or something like that.
Exactly. Let's see here. Let's see, Apple theft going on in the chat once again here. I remember a kid got in trouble for bringing a Death Note to school years back. Really? I think I know the one you mean. Actually, let me look this up real quick. Hang on a second, because now I'm curious. Hold on a minute. Let's see here. Kid brings death note to school. Here we go. Yeah, this was back in Yeah, this was Yeah, this happened Wait a minute, the second case. One of these things happened last year actually in Alabama. It says let's see, there's no clear that the students. The school leaders found the death note last week and they took it straight to police. Chief Clay Morris said the student was immediately expelled or suspended and has now been expelled. Yeah. Ironically, the name was not released to the press either. So there we go.
Holy shit.
And but I can get that too because in schools you gotta take that shit seriously.
I mean, yeah. I mean, especially if you feel like you can get inspiration from this kind of show and being like, yeah, I want to have a death note so I can kill people. Excuse me?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Precisely. And given what's happened with schools already in this country this year to begin with, and all the years beforehand too, they take that shit very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see. But yeah, this happened. I think I found the story here. You're talking about Tenchi. This happened like back in 2008. Was one of the first incidents of this actually.
I feel like the anime aired around there, like 2007.
Yeah, 2007. Yeah, was also one of them too. One of the kids at a military academy had a death note over there, and the student referred them to a fan site which replicated writing the death notes. So that was interesting. Let's see.
Damn.
And it says the fact that it was based on a popular anime was the least of their concerns. And it was a let's see. There's like 10 such stories already at this point. And it's just it's ridiculous though when you think about it. Let's see. 8 of these cases were in the United States. 1 was in Russia. 1 was in Belgium. So that was a although interestingly though, let's see. In 2007 in Belgium, there was an incident where a so-called manga murder took place, where there was a body found in the park by 2 pedestrians, and a note that said, "I am Kira."
Wow.
And let's see. And ultimately, 2 men confessed to the crime. According to the story, it said that they were fans of Death Note. So there we go.
Yeah, but it's also kind of scary of like knowing that people exist out there that also shares Light's ideology of being like, yeah, I'm Kira.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
What?
It's like, but we know the Death Note isn't real. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work that way.
Thankfully enough.
It's like, but I can only imagine what would happen in that case if it actually did become real.
Like, it would be chaos if it was real.
Or like, or worse, 30 copies of the damn thing around the world somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And people start forming like factions against each other. It would be a whole other world war going on, I think.
No, for sure it would.
Or worse, if somebody got hold of a census poll and pictures of people, that would be disastrous. You could take out an entire town doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's terrible with how much power you can get from such a small note.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, but yeah, going forward though, I'm looking forward to seeing where this whole thing goes with the with that one woman and whatnot too. Attention says the Death Note isn't real, or is it? Let's see, but yeah, I'm hooked. I should have watched this show a long time ago, and I'm regretting that I didn't now. But But I can't change the past now. I can only go forward with it. But I only wish I'd watched it a long time ago because that show is fantastic. I really can't wait to see it.
That, though. Some shows you will miss and be like, why haven't I seen this show before?
Uh-huh.
What was it doing?
Right? Exactly. Like, I'm pretty sure I told you beforehand, but I went back in time. The second I started watching the show, went back in time and just slapped my younger self in the face.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's wrong with you, boy?
Like, bro, what are you doing? Why didn't you watch this?
Exactly. I was like, it didn't seem interesting. It's like, well, watch it now. Watch it. I would take my younger self and just put him in front of the screen there and tape his eyes open until he finished watching it.
Like, I feel like if your younger self would just watch, like, the first episode, it would be like, ooh, this is good. And then, like, several hours would have passed and been like, oh, damn, that was that.
Exactly. My friend was telling me about it, too, at one point. And he's like, you got to see it. It's so good. I was like, yeah, I'll catch up with it later. And here I am catching up with it later, a whole, like, what, almost 20 years later at this point.
Yeah.
Far too late for it to make a difference now at this rate. Well, that's not entirely true. The
important thing, though, is that you're actually watching it now, right?
Exactly, yeah. So I shouldn't say it's not making a difference because this is a fantastic show to watch. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And
like you can see why this was the anime that got me hooked on anime to begin with.
Exactly, yes. It's so damn good. Like I want to see where this whole thing turns out. I want to see what happens to the fiance. I want to see where the whole thing with Elle ends up. If he's actually going to catch this guy, if anything else is going to happen with it. What's going to happen with his family? What's going to happen with the neighborhood? What's going to happen to the world for that matter? I don't know. We don't know. It's not as bad as someone not watching Psycho Pass. What happened in that one, by the way, Tenchi?
Psycho Pass is so good, by the way. Like, Psycho Pass is one of those shows where it's like, you have a legal system kind of built like a robot, and the robot is the one judging criminals if they're guilty or if they're not guilty by their own, like, system and recognition of what they see as a crime. And it doesn't really matter if it is a crime or not. If you're seen as guilty, you're guilty. And then you kind of die.
Precisely. That would be a perfect way of... That'd be the logical conclusion to what's happening with Light's plan anyway. Because, like, if you're guilty, no questions asked. Let's see.
Yeah, and, like, you should... Like, if you guys haven't seen Psycho Pass, by the way, you should. Like, I agree with Tenchi wholeheartedly. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm ashamed. I haven't seen it yet, so... I apologize, Tenchi. I apologize, Mochi. Hello, Mochi. How you doing today? Good to see you. Thanks for coming out to the podcast today, too. Let's see, I have 2 seasons. I'm good. You haven't seen it? Oh, Lord. I know. I'm so sorry. I should have seen it. I didn't count liking it so much, but it was really cool. I gotta see it now.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, it has very nice characters, ideologies, and just in general, like, questioning injustice, like Death Note is doing. Like, it's a really good show.
Yeah, definitely. And again, it seems like it's questioning the idea of, like, what qualifies as justice, though. That's good to see you. Good to see you too, Mochi. Hope you're doing well today. Always a pleasure to have you around, and thank you for coming out to the podcast today too. How's your day going so far? You doing all right? But episode 1 shot me, but it's so good. I can imagine too. Are we talking like Higurashi levels of shock by any chance, or something else entirely?
I feel like we're talking like Attack on Titan episode 1 kind of shock.
Gotcha. But yeah, it does tie back into the whole thing of what constitutes justice in this case, though. What makes it a like what counts as justice for you, and is it justice for the betterment of humanity, or is it just your justice?
I mean, like in Light's case, I feel like it's very much based on his own sense of justice. Precisely.
And let's see, I'm okay. Stop me, but I have to go do things. Gotcha. Let's see, that's right. Today's your free day today too, isn't it? I hope you have a good one too, Mochi. Like just take some time and relax and just enjoy yourself today, though, because you've more than earned it, I think. I hope you're doing well though too. Let's see. So what you got planned for the afternoon? Anything fun happening? Little PNG NXT is so adorable. Oh my god. Oh, thank you, Mochi. Yeah, she says you're adorable, Nadja.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know, she's adorable. Thank you, Monty.
yeah, this is my friend Nadja over here, and we've been doing this for quite a while now. Actually, it's been like how many episodes now has it been since we started the podcast? Anyway, it's been like 6, maybe 7 episodes so far,
Yeah, it's been quite a long time, actually.
and it's been a hell of a ride so far. Yeah, yeah. This is Nadja Bloom, my amazing co-host over here, and she's been an absolute gem. And I don't know where I'd be without her with the podcast to begin with. It's the honest to God
Yeah.
truth, I swear. But some person thinks it's my lazy day, but I wanted to stop by. Gotcha. Let's see, but yeah, let's see, but I hope you enjoyed all the same though, Mochi, because yeah, we lost my train of thought there. I'm sorry. I can't think with so much things going on this morning, but I really hope that your day. I really hope that your day goes well for you though. Like take some time to relax, enjoy yourself, and just kick back and just make it a good one, you know? In fact, don't make it a good one, make it an awesome one. Because you deserve that, because you're an awesome person. Let's see, Sucky Berry. And don't let anybody tell you you're not an awesome person. Why haven't you watched Psychopaths? Arrested. Alright, well, let's see. I'm putting my hands out now. You can take me away, Mochi. It's like, all I can say is, what kept you? There's a tiny person on the screen. Which one? We're both tiny over here. I know. I'm a wanted man right now. I think I'll go. This place is coming with me.
The entire place. Arrested.
Yeah, Mochi will arrest you, me, the entire barroom, every bottle on the shelf, the dartboard, the signs, everything. She will put us all in cuffs and drag us with her. And to that I say, Mochi, what kept you? Take me in. I'm coming with you. But I'll make a note of that for my next series to watch out for review on the podcast too, because I should check that out. But let's see, and I'm not fibbing either. I promise you, Mochi, I'm not a fibber. Drag me where, and I'll pass out judgment. Oh no, oh no. Let's see. Please don't tell me that Mochi and Tenchi have the Death Note. I don't want. Let's see, because here's the thing. If that is the case, and you pass out judgment, how can I watch the show then? If you're gonna pass out judgment onto me, I still have to watch it. How are you gonna do this to me? It's like, please don't put me.
That's the thing, though. They're arresting you, so they sit you down before a screen and be like, "I'm not letting you go until you've seen this."
Yeah, pretty much. Unless it's punishable by death or something like that. It's like Psychopaths is good. There are others too. You ever seen Full Metal Alchemist? I love Full Metal Alchemist. Yes, such a good series.
Brotherhood is like my second favorite anime of all time.
And for good reason too. It's so well done. And Tenchi says, "I mean, I'm a corrupted angel." Yes, you are, exactly. I still will ask. I'll ask you that one too. Yes, thank you, Mochi. It's such a good series. I'll ask both you and Tenchi, by the way. Are those horns holding up your halos, by the way? I'm pretty sure you got horns holding up your halos right now, because if you're going to pass judgment on to me for that sort of thing. Let's see, why are my VTuber dads weebs? How did this happen? Full Metal Alchemist is so good. Yes, it is. It's a wonderful show. The characters, the story, oh my god. Yes, exactly. Oh man, as long as we're talking jokes and I have no horns. Yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure I saw some thorns coming out of those head wings of yours. Let's see. Let's see. Speaking of good shows as well, we can't forget Trigun as well. Friggin' love
I
Trigun.
haven't actually seen Trigun. Oh my god.
You haven't seen Trigun?
No, I haven't seen Trigun.
Let's see. That's it. If I'm going to jail, you're coming with me for that one too. I'm pretty sure that halo's dented. I am innocent, says Sucky Berry. I have no horns. I have no halo, but I have handcuffs. Arrested. Let's see.
It's actually funny if you say like and then samt in Swedish. You say just samt. That means to say like that's true.
Exactly. It's like I haven't either. Okay, here we go. Now, let's see. This is what I mean about the corruption of justice over here. This is what I was discussing, because now Tenchi's got to get arrested for not watching Trigun. So basically, it becomes a whole big circular firing squad of arresting each other for a series we haven't watched.
Beginning like, you haven't seen this? Why?
And then immediately arrested. So unless you've watched every single series on the planet at this rate, including the ones that haven't come out yet, or the ones that are yet to come, then you're arrested and have to go to jail.
Like, there's so many anime, there are like thousands of series.
Precisely. So it's going to be basically a life sentence over here. Immediately arrested, says Mochi. Oh my god. Oh my god, please. All of you, please, never change. Never ever change. I love you all so much. Please don't ever change. I wish that of you. Oh my god. Immediately arrested. Let's see, true, I'm so behind on anime. But yeah, that's just it though. If we're gonna watch every single anime, we may as well be doing a life sentence of anime at this point. We'll be well informed, right? But we'll die having watched every single show on the planet, including the ones from the 70s.
Oh my god, the ones in the 70s. I think I even haven't watched like an anime in the 70s.
I'm going to do, because I've only seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Sergeant Frog, Bits of Squirrel and Hedgehog, Speed Racer, and Squid Girl. Let's see, so...
all of those are like, even JoJo's, like the new JoJo's that's coming out, like I have not seen any of that.
Yeah, same here. I've only seen a bit of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure myself, though, so I'm admittedly far behind on that one, too, so... Like, the ones I've seen apart from Trigun and whatnot... Let's see, I need to go figure out some things and stuff. You take care. Love the new look for you, by the way. Hope you're loving the model. Oh, thank you, Mochi. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm glad you love the new look. Take care, Mochi. Love you very much. Have a good one. And take care of yourself today, okay? Thank you so much for coming by today. Hope you're doing well. Haven't even seen JoJo until she runs away again. I stopped through halfway watching Stone Ocean. Lost my interest. Gotcha. Oh my god. I've watched so much anime I'm behind on stream lingo. Yeah, take care, Mochi. Have an awesome day today. Listen, and thank you for all you've been doing, though. You're an amazing person. Oh my goodness me. But, we are like femboy Sirius model. I am not a femboy. You stop it. Stop it. Stop calling me a femboy.
That's because you're exactly a femboy. Liz is totally right.
I am not a femboy. You stop that. Come on. Come on now. I'm not a femboy. I am not a femboy.
You're not a femboy. Oh,
no.
I'm sorry. You're not a femboy.
No. I'm not a femboy. I'm not a femboy. It's all good. Someone, femboy Sirius, someone draw this. That's the thing though, Tenchi. Somebody did draw this right here. It's my model, apparently. That's the thing. We're already at this point where it's become self-aware humor. So I'm already... You don't look femboy to me. I'm not going to call you that. Thank you, Mochi. Thank you very much. See, somebody believes I'm not a femboy over here. Somebody understands me that I'm not a femboy. He's a submissive femboy. My mistake. Lily, I am not a submissive femboy.
Lily, that's absolutely correct.
I am not a fucking submissive femboy. I am not a sub, I swear to God. I'm more of a switch, let's be honest about that. Submissive, sure, but not... That's supposed to be a secret, Mochi. That's supposed to be a secret that I am a switch, though, either way. Sure, yes, a switch. I am a switch. What are you talking about? Oh my God, this thing has gone so far off the fucking rails, it's a runaway. And now it's talking cavity protection in the ads. I swear to God, that's not what I'm going for. Have I heard my yandere side? Let's see. I mean, have you heard my yandere side? I mean, I do have this book over here. I'm not giving secrets. Yes, you are a switch. I agree. And no, not fam. I'm totally fucking with you, Mochi. You're good. I mean, I never told anybody about anything. Like, I'm not. Like, I'm totally just messing with you. You're good. He's a switch, a power bottom. like on Ghost Stories. Whatever, just fill the hole filler. Or something like that.
I need to watch Ghost Stories because I have the dub is like legendary.
Oh my god, the dub is so fucking funny. Secret's gonna get out, Sirius. Yes, indeed. And I think I just self-reported on that one. Oh my god. I'm gonna go hide now. Under the table. They gonna know. Yes, indeed they will. Is it safe? Am I safe now? Am I safe? Nope. I can't hide. I can hide. I can totally hide. I'm here. I'm hiding. I'm gonna prove how much I can hide right now by doing this. Here. I'm hiding right here. On Nadja's head. I'm hiding right on top of Nadja's head over here. I'm hidden. You can't see me. Bloing. Bloing. Alright. But, I've officially lost the plot over here, I swear to God. We have a table. I've been eating food in your bed for no reason. What are you doing under that table, boy? Sus, he says. I am not being sus. I was hiding, for God's sakes. Let's see, Nadja knows me better than that, don't you? I'm not doing anything.
Are you sure about that?
Sure, way to take my side, Nadja. Way to back me up on this one. Are we sure about that? Yes, I'm totally sure about that. Come on now. You know me better than that. I'm getting bonked too. I'm getting bonked on that too. I'm getting bonked. I'm gonna just go hide my drinking glass over here. I'm just gonna go shrink and hide my glass. There we go. There we are. I am Sodius Hauser over here. Just sitting here in a tiny soda glass. Meow. I have become a green ice cube floating around in the void. And I just like, nope, exactly. Exactly. You can't even get a fair trial in this town. I'm telling you. This is a miscarriage of justice, people. I can't. Let's see, they've all gone mad with power. I'm not safe even in my own streams anymore, for God's sakes. It's like, are you sure about this? God. And I'm just getting bonked and swatted and batted over here. Hopefully not swatted in real life. That would be a big miscarriage of justice over there, and misuse of federal police forces. So don't get any ideas, people, please. I beg of you, don't. Oh my God. But oh my God, this whole thing has just gone completely off the fucking rails. Let's see, I do have to go. It was fun talking to you, man. Take care and say bye to your cutie co-host. Take care, Mochi. Good to see you again. Let's see, have a great rest of your day, and keep on being awesome like you always are. And don't let anybody ever tell you you're not, because you totally are. And I mean that sincerely. Yeah, she says bye, cutie, over there to you too, Nadja.
Yeah, bye, Mochi. Have a good day.
Suckyberry is going to break into your house in a SWAT uniform. She better not. I've reinforced all the doors and put landmines on the floor. I mean, what? You heard nothing.
Wait, what?
I'll just see you soon. Yeah. You try and get in my... The legions of viewers are doing a hostile takeover. Oh my God. I can fly. Yes, she can fly. Those wings of hers aren't for nothing, you know. Yeah, the legions are doing a hostile takeover here, so I better get out of here while it's still safe to do so. Let's see, oh my God, that would be lewd. Yes, it would be. Coming to my house in a SWAT uniform. It's like, Ugh, that would be the worst thing though. Like, can you imagine having that happen to you? Breaking
It was
in
at this moment
that he knew.
he
Fucked up. Yes, indeed, I did. Oh God. Let's see. So yeah. Anything more you wanted to discuss on Death Note, by the way, before we wrap up
It
for the
was
day?
at this moment
That he knew. He fucked up. Again. Let's see. But yeah, anything more you wanted to discuss on Death Note, by the way, before we wrap up for the afternoon? Let's see. Bye, babies. Take care, Mochi. Good to see you again, hun. Take care. And see. Enjoy the rest of your day today. Yay, same brain. You're all plotting to take over and turn against me. Ay, ay, ay. Thank you for the metal pipe there, Lily. I appreciate that. I needed a good jump over here. Yeah, same brain cell. The same brain cell you all are sharing right now at this point. Oh God, did I tell you what happened?
We're sharing brain cells though.
We totally are. Oh my God, did I tell you what happened yesterday? I opened up OBS, right? Getting ready to do my stream yesterday, and right off the bat, I hear the pipe falls on my head, and I had my volume up at a considerable volume because I was listening to music beforehand. So the program opens, I hear, and I'm like, "Whoa, hello there, thank you." I'm not even streaming, and I'm getting attacked over here.
That's one way to start.
Exactly. I didn't even know that was going to happen either. And thank you for the random bean boozled fiery bean, Liz. I appreciate that. Got a cayenne pepper bean over here. This should be fun. Let's do this thing. Alrighty. That's my one brain cell. We're holding the brain cell hostage. Let the brain cell out of its cell, for God's sakes. And by that I mean open your minds, for pity's sakes. People, please. Oh my God. Oh, that burns. It burns really bad.
You're good.
Yep. One of my Bean Boozled rewards over here. Yeah, the cayenne beans are the third spiciest on the Scoville chart over here, but they don't burn as badly as some of the other ones do. Ay ay ay! Thank you for the metal pipe over there, Tetchi. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was somebody who was off stream who dropped a pipe on me. I wonder if that happens with everybody who uses OBS too. Like they just open up the thing there one day, and then a delayed alert appears, and it just drops a pipe on their head.
Like that could definitely happen. Like I would be so jump scared, especially if I have my volume up high because I've been listening to music or something.
Yeah, that's what happened yesterday with this thing. Like I opened it up and it must have been a delayed reaction, and suddenly I just got pipe scared.
I've got a present for you.
Oh my!
Sheer 10 Sirius 159 money, lots of money in my pocket, obviously. These are my last bits, actually.
Thank you for the bits, Lily. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Lots of money in my pocket, and good use of the money emoji, by the way. I appreciate that. Like I was so happy to actually get the rest of my emojis out there too, because Twitch finally gave new rules allowing people to give emojis to their followers instead of just their subs. So now you can actually have them, once you hit a certain audience rate, I think Liz said around 50 or so, like 50 followers or whatever, you can actually have give them an emoji, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but that's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can be able to use some more emojis.
Exactly. It took them long enough, to be honest with you, but better late than never, I guess. I spent all night trying to get my stuff updated for the stream yesterday and today, because I care about y'all very much. I want you guys to be entertained, and I want y'all to be happy. And like I said before, though, Mochi was my inspiration for doing streaming to begin with, and I want her to do well too. Like without all of you, without Nadja, Tenchi, Lily, Mochi, and everybody else on here, without any of you, this wouldn't have been happening. So you all are one of the biggest things I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving season coming up. Let's see, that was the other stream issue. Other streams had emojis on their chats before. Yeah, I think it was according to Mochi. They had they were able to put emojis in there for followers. But that was the trouble, though, Lily. Until recently, I couldn't put the until recently I couldn't put the emoji into the actual thing for followers because that wasn't an option back then. Like, I'm not even making this up. Because up until roughly about a week or so ago, I couldn't fix that. And then I forgot all about that. So I'm sorry for not doing it sooner. I really do apologize. It wasn't intentional, I swear. But to try and alleviate that, I was trying to make the emojis a redeemable reward so that people could actually use them and not be subs. Follower emails were available for others, just not for you. Doesn't like me, I guess. Wait, really? Are you serious? I had no idea that was even a thing beforehand, too, because I looked into it, and it wouldn't let me do it. I guess something had to happen, or I had to be under a similar, a different time frame or a different amount of followers or something. That's very weird, though, but I can assure you it wasn't intentional, I swear. So don't get me wrong, I knew it was an issue. I was trying to fix it, so that's why I made redeem the emojis a sort of a workaround for it, so people could actually use the emoji on there before I got it all fixed. So that was the big thing over there. So rest assured, though, I was trying to fix it. I promise. Let's see, and we're approaching by the 2-hour marker over here. But anything else you wanted to go over today, by the way, with regarding Death Note or anything else, Nadja?
I feel like when it comes to Death Note, we pretty much discussed like everything I had in mind for the first 6 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing much I can think of right now, at least. Like, anything that we missed or something, because, like, everything I took note of that I wanted to discuss, we've discussed, so...
Awesome.
I feel like we've done a good job.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's see, yeah, Tenchi says, yeah, Twitch recently took away the ability for follow emotes to use them, so... Yeah, it must have been a recent change or something like that, because I started back in August or so, and I never noticed that was an issue beforehand. I just assumed that it was around for quite a while, so... That actually makes sense that you mentioned now. Thank you for pointing that out, Tenchi. So it is good to have these things around. Let's see. So now we got our points covered. I think we pretty much got that covered until the next few episodes or so. So we'll do up to about what do you say, episode 12 for next week, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, episode 12 sounds good.
Awesome. I'll do my best to catch up too, because we have the holiday coming up though. But I should have plenty of time to sit down and watch some more of the show, if not more so than before. And
yeah, for sure.
And due to Thanksgiving, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do the what's it called, Viewer's Choice on Thursday. I do have off from work on Wednesday if you want to try that one instead. So I should be able to do the Viewer's Choice then. If you want to do a community night or something like that together, we could all do something fun together. And yes, belt Twitch, exactly. We're giving Twitch all the belts over there. Taking and just go bad Twitch. But let's see who's on. Speaking of Twitch, let's see who's on here. Who can we raid today? Who's somebody on here that we can raid and give a good time to? Let's see. I know we haven't raided in a while there. I think she's doing a either a donathon or a subathon right now. So let's give her some support over here. My good friend Stormy Jinx over here. Also have the raid in the meantime. Raid to Stormy Jinx. Here we go. And so everybody pop in the clown car, because we are going on a raid, folks, over here. Maybe Twitch likes being spanked. Exactly, yeah. Twitch is a power bottom, all things considered. Imagine that. Like, it's just like to sit there being on the bed, just taking belt after belt. And that's the end of it right there. But, yeah, I wanted to say thank you all so much for coming out today. And thank you to Nadja for being an amazing co-host, as always. Thank you for coming out once again.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. It was awesome to be discussing Death Note with you guys, and it was really fun. So I'm looking forward to next week as well.
Absolutely, yeah. It was good catching up there. I thoroughly enjoyed discussing the whole things with like where things have gone in the series, what could have been, the whole elements between L and Light, and what could be happening going forward, how things could have gone differently. it makes you think, and I love anime that do that. I love things that make you just, think about stuff. Because I love using my head when watching a series. It's more engaging that way,
Oh.
So yeah, thank you all once again for a wonderful day today. I'll be back on later tonight, I think, for some Command and Conquer Tiberian Sun if you want to hang out around then. I'll post some more details on Twitter later on. But in the meantime, let's give Storm Jinx some love. Be good to her, please. Be kind to her. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and happy Sunday to y'all. See you tonight then, and peace out.